Hey guys, happy Sunday, but when you're seeing this, it'll be Monday. So you're probably wondering, isn't this Monday? Why is she in bed cuddling with a stormtrooper? Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I was having a great day. I mean, it was wonderful, and now I'm in bed in agonizing pain. That Packers game though! What are you doing in here? You know what? Your damn Bears didn't do any better.
At least they scored 20 points. You got blown out.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
You got blown out. Couldn't even score it. You
go away! Leave me alone!
Well,
like I said, that Packers game, man, it just put me back into bed. I'm bedridden right now. You're amazing.
Wait, hold up.
You should never give up on your daydream. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queen Acacia. Today we are going to be doing a book review as well as, you know, have some funny moments like we always do. And I'm going to try not to cry when I tell you guys my favorite quote because it always makes me just, oh, it rips me up inside. And I stay pretty focused. Buckle up, get ready, let's do this book review, and yeah, let's get started, guys. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to start doing a monthly book review once a month because I don't have time to do one every week, and I'd like to get some more, but we'll see. Right now we're gonna start with once a month. So I thought it'd be fun to do a book review in one of my favorite spots to read books, which is in my bed. Before I say this, it is Monday, it is Domestic Violence Sexual Awareness. A lot of the books that I have because of summits and conferences I go to, I have a lot of books on domestic violence sexual assault. The first one we're gonna start off with is one that absolutely means the world to me, The Shack. It's my favorite book. And as well as I'm going to also talk a little bit about the next book I'm going to read called 8 Stories Up. And I actually have a really fun little tidbit behind this. I actually have not got a chance to read it yet. This is my next read. We'll be reading and we will do a book review on this next month, and we'll talk more about this after we do our book review on The Shack. I'm always behind her in front of the screen. I love what I do, and I don't want to burn myself out. Sometimes, you know, movies, Netflix, YouTube, TV, it's too much, especially because in a sense kind of what I do. Sometimes it's just too much technology. That's why I like picking up a book every once in a while. And no, this video is not sponsored. I also like the fact, I love the way a book stimulates the mind. I had someone asked me yesterday with my new movie that I made. If you haven't seen it, you should totally go check it out. It's only a minute long, so super short, really good. I had someone ask me, you know, why don't you just explain the movie to me? And I'm like, I could write it out in a book form. I'm like, but it'd be actually quicker for you to just go watch the video. I created this movie as a video, not a book. So anyways, on that note, so this book is called The Shack. It is a fictional book. It was written by a Canadian author, Mr. William P. Young. The novel was self-published in 2007 and became a U.S. bestseller, selling over 1 million copies by June 2008. So when I was looking up Q&A, I have my son, he's reading the book right now, and I needed something off of it. I think the year it was published is what I was looking for, and when I was looking it up, I found out that he was self-published. And I just thought that was so cool because, I'm trying not to get too much off topic here, but just the fact that you do what you want, you follow your heart, and you do it for you, and if you want to share it with the world, share it with the world. And sometimes, you know, you just prosper. You don't always need this big agent or this big agency or big TV network or whatever. You just, sometimes all you need is a pen and a paper, and you know, you have a little bit of money set aside to build your own dreams, and bada bing, bada boom, you become a famous author. The book is 256 pages long. 248, this is saying it's 256. So yeah, it looks like it's about all the pages, but the book does start on page 14 and ends on page 248. So there's that. I don't think it's a very big book, handbook, whatever. I love this book. It's like I said, it's a great book. As far as what age could read this book, I'd say maybe, depending on the maturity, 14 up. Landon's 12, and I'm having him read this, but he's also really mature for his age. I think that this is a really good book for him to read, so I'm going to have him read this. He actually is. He's on chapter 2 already. As far as how the book is just set up and the reading and the way everything is, I think the book was exquisitely executed. I mean, it really pulled on my heartstrings. This book came to me like at the perfect time. I was in a really rough place, and I was told, let's say I was told to read this book or else. Can we put it that way without it being so bad? Actually going through a lot of stuff, and the person I was with kind of gave me an ultimatum, like, once you read this book, then we'll talk. And which I thought was so stupid, and I don't agree with ultimatums. It wasn't a healthy relationship at the time. And regardless, this was a great book for me to read. Kind of glad I got pushed in that direction. They didn't really mean it. I don't think that they meant it in an abusive way, just more of a, this will help you open your eyes kind of thing. I don't know. I don't care to know. I do love this book, and I'm really grateful for it, and I love the way that it's put. Like I said, it pulled on my heartstrings, and for me, this, just the way it's presented, it just really, yeah. Okay. Also, you know, when I was reading this book, you know, I was very bad at God. Yes, I do believe in God. However, I don't talk about that so much, not because I'm ashamed or whatever. I am considered a kitchen witch. I also believe in Norse. I also believe in Wicca. I also do crystals. There's a lot of stuff that I do. So when people, you know, try and ask me, oh, you believe in God. What religion are you? What denomination are you? I'm like, non-denominational. I believe in a lot of different things. I don't really, it's complicated, just like me. I don't fall into the conformity of what people think as far as God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. I have my own thoughts and views on it, and yes, they are very similar to the Bible, but they're also different. But we're not going to get into that. That's not really what this is about. When I got this book, I said, reading this book just really helped me where I was. I probably got this book 5 years ago, and where I was, it just really helped me at the time. So, you know, maybe if you're looking for a book to read that is, I don't want to say spiritual, maybe spiritual on some level. It's a different view on God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. I can tell you right now, maybe this book will help you in some way. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I think it's a good read. So I also think The Shack is a very easy book to read. I feel like I should just be like, phew. I also feel like The Shack is a really easy book to read to get into ebooks. And I have a couple ebooks, but I just love the smell of a book and the feel of a book in my hand and being able to read it. I did find this an easy read. I found it a little slow in the beginning, and then it really sucked me in. And there's a couple other books that have done that for me too. This book is just, yes! I also found out too, when I decided to do this, I had forgotten that there's actually a movie coming out, and there's a lot of controversy on the movie because God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are not the normal way that they're portrayed in life, and I thought that was really interesting. When I watched the trailer, I'm kind of scared to go see it. I'm really good at reading a few novel books, but I usually end up reading more books that are like nonfiction. There have been a couple of books that I have actually got into and read. One, for example, is like Fireproof. But I watched the movie, and I remember watching it, and I just freaked out. Like, they forgot to do this and this and this and this, and that's not that. I couldn't. So I am nervous about them making this movie, The Shack. There's just so much in this book. Really hoping that they don't lose anything in this book when they do it. Okay, and so my favorite quote from the book every time, so like I'm trying not even to cry. It's like, interjecting real quick, I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that pain and suffering happens for a reason, because with pain and suffering comes empathy and understanding. Do I agree with it? No. Do I believe that God just lets it happen? There's a reason that that's supposed to happen. It doesn't mean, like I said, I always agree with it. And I've gone through some stuff in life, and when I was reading this book, I was so mad. Why aren't you here? Why aren't you here? And my favorite quote in this book is from Papa, and she says, I never left you, and I never left Misty. You'll have to read the book to understand what I'm talking about. And if you've read the book, you know. If you've seen the trailers, you might know, but I'm gonna mess up this makeup. Moving on. As I've said over and over again, it goes against the traditional ways of knowing what God is, what Jesus is, this is Mr. Young's perspective on how he wrote it and his thought and view. To each their own. It really meant a lot to me, and the way that Mac ended up there, I believe something like that could really happen. You have to read the whole story to understand what I'm talking about, because I'm not gonna give away any spoilers. You're gonna take from it what you want. You're gonna love it, hate it, like it, not like it, whatever. This book did a lot for me, and it is a book that will always do a lot for me. It's always in my house. It's very close by, and if I need to pick it up and read it, I do. And I will just sit down and read it from front to back and just take a day and lose myself in this book. When I read this book, it's a different answer for me every time. Like if I'm just struggling, this is my book that I go to read, to clear my mind, and I end up usually figuring out what I need to figure out by the time the book's done. So I don't get the same answers every time, like my little Bible, but it's not my Bible. I don't know. It's just, like I said, it's just, this book for me is spiritually moving. That makes sense. And this got me through some really dark times with my PTSD and after the abuse and stuff like that. This was my light in the darkness. Lastly, so what surprised me about the book is, one, didn't think I'd like it at all. I loved the book. Absolutely fell in love with it, which I talked about. The ending was unexpected, but in my mind, in my thoughts, I believe it was believable. I don't think it was a happy ending. I don't think that the book had a happy ending. In a sense it did, and there was some closure, and I mean, I guess in a way, ultimately you can't change the past, so, and it did stay true to that, so that wasn't going to change, and I think there was closure given, but ultimately, it wasn't a happy ending. I was happy for the closure, and it made me cry. So that is that information there on the shack. So next we're going to head and just talk about 8 Stories Up real quick. And 8 Stories Up is written by DeQuincy Lizine. I'm so bad. I'm going to say this wrong. This book was published April 14th, 2008. This is a nonfiction book. This book is specifically written for teens and young adults. 8 Stories Up offers hope to young people who are at risk of suicide. So the reason I ended up with this book is I was actually at a summit 2 summers ago, 2015, I think. This gentleman was there, and I got a chance to meet him. He actually signed my book for me, and I have not got a chance to read this. I heard his story and what he went over, and I just think it's great. And then, with me doing what I'm doing now on YouTube daily and constantly, and wanting to, especially on Mondays with the domestic violence sexual assault, staying properly educated on many things. I think suicide prevention is such a huge thing that we should talk about. The holidays are coming up. That's a hard time for people. Another thing that they had discussed in the summit/conference that they had talked about was it's important to talk to your young kids and friends about suicide so that they know that they can come to you if they're feeling with that, have that feeling or struggling, to be able to come to you and say, I'm not doing well and I'm feeling suicidal and I don't want to be here anymore. So to be able to go and talk to your children or your friends at school or something, go, hey, I know this is so weird, but have you ever thought about suicide? No. Why would you say that? Oh, I was reading this book and it's quite common, and they say we should talk to our friends about it, and I was just reading, so I just want you to know that if you're ever having a problem or struggling or anything, you can come talk to me. I'm here for you. So I think that's great. And also, as far as TV shows go or series goes, 13 Reasons Why, oh man, I think we talked about that already in one of my videos, so we're not going to get into that. But if you guys have seen my other videos, you do know that I attempted suicide at 14. That is not something that I hide. And I did not have anybody to go to or talk to. So I really liked the way that they were approaching it and the things that he was talking about from his book and everything else. So I'm very eager to read this and find out more. As far as one thing I do want to point out about the book is, I do know the backstory behind it. It's got a good overview on the back. I do like the front. I think that it does pull you in a little bit. You just see this kid here sitting down in a library writing in his book, and he's just keeping to himself, and this guy here was completely, he's very, very smart. He had his life together. He didn't, I don't feel like he fit the normal quota of when we think, oh, someone's suicidal, so they must be miserable and have a hard life at home. And from what I understand and recall from our conversation in the meeting or the conference, that wasn't the case. You know, life, he actually had it, I don't want to say easy, but he was really hard on himself, and he had very high hopes for himself, and he just put himself up on a pedestal, and he was the one that he didn't want to fail himself, if I remember that correctly. So again, I'm very eager to read and see what all he has to say. And like I said, this is really geared towards adolescent mental health. What is this? Initiative. So it's an adolescent chooses hope over suicide. I'm looking forward to discussing 8 stories up with you guys next time. And definitely let me know if by chance you've read 8 stories up, or if you've read The Shack. Please let me know in the comments below. And let me know your thoughts, insights, and all that. I have tons of other books, like I said. My book review is probably typically going to be on Monday. Like I said, I don't read a lot of other books unless there's stuff like this. I don't typically read, I mean, I do like fiction, but lately it's just been a lot of nonfiction. Ooh, tired. Like I said, if there's any books that you think I should read or you have suggestions to, please let me know. I know I've got another one. I think it's Dear Sister. I've got a whole bunch from conferences and stuff that I've gone to, and I love. One of the things that I love when I go to the conferences and summits is we usually always get some type of free book, and I'm just so eager to get it, and I absolutely just loathe the fact that I have not been able to pick up and read the books, and I'm very eager and excited to be doing this every month. I know some of the books are pretty, I got one that's like, you know, pretty fat, like 4 or 5 inches thick. Looks like a DSM book, but it's not. So I'm really looking forward to reading those, coming back and talking to you guys about those. And again, like I said, if you've read them or anything, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any insight on them, opinions, thoughts, again, let me know in the comments below. So anyways, well, that's all for now, guys. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. I can't deal with this right now. Just remember, you're a king, you're a queen, you're part of the royal court. I love you, I welcome you. Please don't be a mass murderer unless you're pretending in a movie, and which I did, which was awesome. Don't judge me, oh, never mind. Anyways, you're a king, you're a queen, you're part of the royal court. Have an awesome day, and I will talk to you guys next time here on my channel. Thanks, bye. Not done. So, as you can see, yes, I am in my bed. Sorry, no sexy lingerie, just, you know, sexy me. Because I'm sexy. I'm sexy and I know it. Don't. Thank you! I got my clean robe back. It got dirty, and so we had to wash it, and now I got it back. But yeah, the two times that the Packers have played, one with Aaron Rodgers and one without Aaron Rodgers against the Bears, we kicked their ass both times. Life's tough right now. I'm worried that Aaron Rodgers won't heal right and he'll go into retirement. That Packer game though. Let me open up the legs of my Joby. Don't be getting any nasty, dirty thoughts, people. We ain't doing nothing else. There's a herd of elephants running through my house right now. I do not know if the audio is picking that up.